Yeah, that's what's up. That's what I'm talking about. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. We are live for another amazing episode, guys. Tune up, turn up, call all your friends and family. Tell them, yo, there's another new Ariel's Entertainment Podcast with Chloe on it from Philly. Today is August 10th. We are excited for this amazing episode available on all podcast platforms. Let's go. Run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up, run it up. Let's go. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, best friends, to another Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. I know. I'm blinging today, guys. I got the new chains right now. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Ariel. Today is August 10th. We got a packed, exciting, pumped up show. Guys, let's give a round of applause. Get on your feet to our guest today, straight up from Philly. Let's go. Chloe, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Happy to be here.
Yeah, this is how I was clapping. This is how I clap all the time. I'm so pumped up. I've been clapping all day because my nephew was playing a hockey game earlier. They won, so I just been pumping up everybody today. I've been passing. Yeah, that's what I do. Chloe, where you at? What's up with it? What's going down?
Not much. I'm just in Philly right now, immersed in a lot of incredible art and music. And so that's what, I'm about.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm all about that action. Before we get into you, though, I got to go do the business. I got to do the self-promo, which takes about 3 minutes. So here we go, baby. Everybody buckle up. Let's go. Everybody, here we go. A great way to support me. I want to say, guys, thank you for following, sharing, commenting, and just vibing with us. To all the listeners and supporters, thank you so much. It truly means the world to me. All right, here we go, guys. Let's buckle up. Here we go. Best way to support me is go to my website. Here we go. Boom, right there, arielent.com. Check it out. You would think I would be ready and go to the shop. Guys, go to the shop. There's my merch, t-shirts, stickers, and pens. You already know where it's at, arielent.com. Check out my music. Boom. Check out my bio. There's my demos. There I am. I'm looking amazing. I know. All right, book me for my music. And then I do photography. I do from architecture, from sporting events to headshots, anything. Hit me up. I can get you. arielent.com is a great way to support me. You know what it is. Thank you guys so much. Let's go to the next spot. Next way you can support me is by going to my YouTube channel. Straight up. Go. You can search arielent.com. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. I come through. 156 subscribers. Okay. 156 subscribers. We're going to hit August. We're going to hit 200. I swear we're going to hit 200 by the end of this month, guys. So what I'm going to need you to do, grab the links here, go to your phone book and send it to all your friends and family, your neighbors, your cousins. It don't matter. Just send it. That's how we're actually expanding. Everybody's just saying the name. I dropped episode 93 a day ago. We got 6 views. 1 week ago, episode 92, 104. My boy came through the other day, episode 89, 1.K. That was 3 weeks ago. Homeboy came through and we went hard in the paint. I do music shows. I do concerts, guys. I make appearances on other podcasting. I do shout outs to other Denver businesses. Is what I do. Check out my YouTube channel. Let's go. Run it up. Run it up. Thank you guys so much. All right. Another great way to support me is the links below, guys. I got the Venmo, the PayPal, the Apple Cash, all down below. I'll do the quick shout outs here soon. I got everybody's name here who donated last week. Woo! So thank you guys so much. I know I got to get a haircut. Okay. So guys, you guys like the hat? Look at the hat. I know. I don't ever wear it on the show. This is a special opportunity right now. Guys, arielent.com. I want to give a quick shout out to everybody's donation last week. That's Twisted Grape Radio. That is Nick Fiore. I want to say marvelous. Love you so much. That's my ma. That's my grandma. That's my auntie. Marvelous. Thank you so much. Let's see here. Branson Brophy. Thank you so much. And Carolyn, thank you so much for all those donations. Truly means the world to me, guys. The links are down below. It's what I do. I just put it back into the business, and we're going to drop some new merch once we sell out on that merch, guys. I think that is it. Guys, thank you so much. Like, share, follow, subscribe. Run it up. Let's go. All right. Here we go. This is what I want to say, guys. I want to say thank you for all your support. I just want to say thank you to God and the universe for having Chloe on the show. I want to say thank you, God and the universe, for our perfect health, for the food that you provide us with, and just our just our families. I saw my family over the weekend. My parents came through, they flew in. And then my girlfriend's family flew in as well. So it was just a crazy weekend. So, and everybody's back home. So I'm just thank you to God and the universe to just taking care of us and keeping us safe and sound. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Let's go. All right, guys. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. I want to say thank you for everybody listening. Shout out to everybody. Let's go. All right, guys, let's give a huge round of applause to our guest, Chloe. What's up? What do you do and where we can follow you? What's up with it?
Yeah, happy to be here. Just want to say thank you, Ariel, for having me, first of all, and obviously, like, what a wonderful piece of gratitude to start the show with. I love that you do that.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. You have no idea. I'm grateful that you're on the show. I'm just grateful to have this like technology that we can just chop it up. I'm grateful that we have passions and purposes to throw out there to the audience, to the supporters. You have no idea. So yeah. So tell us, I'm so excited. Tell us where you are and where we can follow you.
Yeah, so you can follow at Songbirds Mag. That's me. So what I do is I'm a Philly-based online magazine, podcast, and community. So we are a community to uplift and inspire independent musical artists, visual artists, any kind of creator. So like I said, we have our online magazine. It comes out every 6 months. The first issue is out now. We also have a music interview podcast where I interview local Philly independent artists. So all different types of people, from funky R&B to folk to rappers. It's really just supporting the local community and the music community here in Philadelphia, because, there's so much talent and artistry here. It's so important that this gets spread out.
Right.
And this is it's been so incredible to do. So the online magazine has been fully created by myself. So I wrote the magazine, I art directed the magazine, I designed the magazine, I'm doing photography. So it's literally the most fulfilling thing to pour my art into a way to support other people's art. So if you're interested in music, talking about creation, what the creation process is, whether you're, you could be a podcaster, you could be a musician, you could be a sculptor, a painter, a writer. My community is for you, to uplift you and what you do. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. And what I do. I'm really, really stoked about it. And I appreciate you letting me share.
Straight up. No, pleasure is mine that you're on the show. I want to let everybody know to come through. Let's run it up. That's Songbirds Magazine. That's SONGBIRDSMAG on the Instagram. Hit the follow button and then hit the link tree button, guys. And there's more information about Songbirds Magazine. You got the Songbirds Magazine podcast, the Songbirds Magazine volume out 1 now, Facebook, Pinterest, and Clubhouse. That's what I'm talking about. I clicked on I clicked on the Songbirds volume. No, I clicked on Songbirds Magazine podcast, and this came up. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, we have a couple episodes out so far. I'm actually going to drop an episode on Saturday. So new episodes coming out.
That's what's up.
And then if you go to the magazine, you can show that too. That is my my child. You could just scroll to the right, or you toggle to the right and the little arrow. Yeah. Oh. So I designed this and I wrote it. So it's in the flesh. There's some really great articles in there. Issue 2 is coming out in October.
That's awesome. Yeah.
We talk about music. We talk about mental health and creation, the creative process, and just all things artistic creation and process. So that's what it is. And you mentioned Clubhouse too. So yeah, that's how we met, is through Clubhouse. And I have a community on there too, like a club where we talk about creative process, and it's really wonderful for people that are, you know, artists and creators that want to understand that you can be creative. You don't need, it's not something you're born with. You can learn how to be creative. You can learn how to do any kind of art. It's something that you learn. And so I'm all about empowering people to be the artists that they were, you know, meant to be. So it's learnable, it's teachable, and that's what I'm about. So yeah. It's great.
That's amazing. You do a lot of stuff. You said you drop a magazine every 6 months?
Yep.
That's what's up. The next magazine comes out in October. Let's go. I wonder if you're gonna touch up on Halloween a little bit in that magazine for October.
Yeah, so I'm interviewing like a Southern Gothic folk band right now who is the feature. I'm not going to mention who they are because you'll probably see it, but they are very into like spooky, creepy vibes. And so that was perfect to feature them for, the Halloween vibes in October.
Yeah.
And yeah, with the next issue, you're going to see a lot more interviews. You're going to see a lot more of music. Because this one I created, you know, during the pandemic. And so I basically was like locked up in my office, like just, you know, writing about the things I felt so strongly about, which was like social justice in Philly and all of the things that happened and how to stay productive and social media during this time and what it was like for, you know, musicians and artists who couldn't work, you know, and couldn't do live shows. So like that was this article here that you're seeing is about that. It's about what happened, you know, how to support those people in the music industry, and not just artists, but, you know, venues, managers, touring staff, you know, it's like, it goes so far. And so this was like beautiful to have all of my passions and my thoughts go into this one. But it's like, you know, every time you do something, it's like every time you do an episode, right, you want to level up and you're like, what else can I do? How can I make it better? And so I'm anticipating a lot more collaboration, a lot more interviews, a lot more music. I'm really narrowing down on music in Philly for the next issue, and I'm really excited.
That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yo, so tell me, I like it how you're keeping it local in the next issue, correct?
Yeah.
Yo, okay, so right now, I don't know what episode this will be, but last week I dropped episode 93, and I'd say like the first probably 30 episodes was local people here in Denver. So I think that's super dope. I just collabed with a tons of artists here in Denver. And then when I got on Clubhouse, which I'd say was in June, where we met, that was super dope. We'll dive into that here real quick. But where I met in June, I got in Clubhouse in June, and rather than being local now, it's now like worldwide. I'm international now. I'm getting people from Naples. I'm getting people from like Ghana. I'm getting people from London. I'm like, to get on the show, yo. It's so crazy. At first I was like, man, first I was struggling, like, how am I gonna get people on my show? Then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna hit people up that I know. And you know what? The people I knew the longest, and I'd expect them to, I wouldn't expect them, but I figured, hey, they'd be like, oh yeah, I'd be on your show. Yo, they never came on my show. So isn't that crazy? The people, it's crazy. I realize once you get in games like this, like I've been in the music game for 3 years, almost 3 years, and then I've been in this podcast game for 2 years, and I've seen things, you know, a lot of things, and like how people support you and shit. And so at first I was struggling, like, okay, man, I need to get people on the show, and then I started reaching out people on I went on Instagram. And I used to search people close to here in Denver or whatever, just like, oh, artists in Denver, whatever. And that's how I got people on my show like that. And then I hit Clubhouse, and then it just blew up.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah, no, and what you said is like what brought me back to your story is that like in this next issue, what reminded me was like a bunch of local, and then local, and then music. That's legit as shit. I think that's so dope.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, music has always been just like a huge part of my life. And when I always had this idea to do a magazine, right? But I really was torn about music, like having it just be a music magazine, because I thought there was just like so much more that goes into it. Because I think it's not just limited to music, it's like all kinds of creation. And actually, when you talk to a lot of musicians, like yourself, like we're like multidisciplinary people. So like we're like visual artists and we write, right? And we like paint, and like it's so interesting to see how so many people are, they're musicians, but they're also visual artists, and all of these things are kind of connected. And like if you do one creative thing, it like literally expands your brain to be able to do like all of these other creative things. Like today I literally picked up a guitar that I haven't picked up in, I swear, like 10 years, maybe like 15 years. And like I somehow remembered, the only thing I remembered how to play is the beginning of Blackbird by the Beatles, like that just like beginning part for like 3 seconds. And I had this muscle memory just to remember how to play it. And I was like, that's so wild how music like sticks with you in your brain. Obviously you can tell I love talking about it. I like talking about, music and the process and stuff. So that's what you can get on my podcast, is more of these kinds of conversations. So
beautiful. And like you said, I forgot to go back to what you were saying too, is collaborating, because I'm all about that too. Because at first when I started, I was just by myself. And then I was like, then I started struggling, like, okay, how am I going to get people on the show? And then I started collaborating, and now it's just like crazy blown up. Like I started to realize like, okay, this is not my podcast anymore. It's so out of control now that it's not even my podcast anymore. And I haven't hit no peak or anything yet. This like, I'm scheduled at 2 or 3 times a week, and I drop at least 2 or 3 times a podcast a week. And then I'm already booked out, who knows when. And it's just like, I have no, it's just crazy. People just want to be on the show and participate in the show and just show love.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. I'm booked out this whole year. And like, but I think I was already booked out this whole year, but I was like, all right, I'm just going to squeeze more people this year. So I went from like 2 to 3 people a week to like 4 or 5 people a week now. And it's just, I'm like, wow. It's just, yeah. But it's because I'm meeting cool people like you, like, because I booked myself out with amazing people. And then I booked more of myself out. It's just getting out of control. And people are like,
yeah, I know, I get that, but that's good, right? It's like people want to share their stories, and like
it's awesome.
It's awesome. That's the best part is being able to hear their stories and talk to them and understand what they do. And like, we are in this process, we are supporting independent musicians, right? We're spreading their names out there. Or creators, like putting their names out there. We're supporting them. And it's like, it becomes this really wonderful collaboration, like you said.
I 100% agree.
We're like, it's just this partnership, right? And we're growing each other's platforms, and it's really wonderful, because like we all want support. And like when you put out that energy and you put it like gratitude in the beginning of your show, right? You're like putting out these vibes, and people want to support that energy. People want to feel that themselves. And that's what you're like putting out into the universe, is that like positive partnership. So that's, it's beautiful. It's really nice to see, right?
No, 100. I totally agree with you. I think it's so awesome that we collab. And what I think is, I like collaborating, but it's my purpose. I love getting people on the show like yourself and just hearing your story, which we'll dive here in just a second. I just think we just dived in so much. We got so much in common with music and you keep talking about the process. And that's really what it is, because a thought, like an idea becomes a thought, or a thought becomes an idea, blah, blah, blah. And then you gotta be the action about it. You got to do it. Right. And then once you do it, and then you throw it out there to the world, but there's a lot that goes on before you throw it out to the world, man. And then you got to think about it. It's so much. And with my podcast, what I'm bringing back to is my purpose is like, I like bringing people like you, and I love editing. I love promoting it. I love just uploading it to YouTube and all social media platforms. I love that, like all that. And I do all that. I edit, I do everything. And it's honoring. I love it. I can't even explain the feeling.
You gotta love it. That's that's incredible. Like you're doing it. You know?
Tell me about 10 years of not playing guitar. What's up? What happened?
Ooh, I don't know. I did a lot of things. Like that's I guess my problem is I do a lot of different things. Obviously, you can tell. So I probably stopped playing instruments and singing and performing when I was like 15. I probably stopped. But before that, I was playing guitar, I was playing drums, I played the saxophone and then piano. But I sang and I did musical theater and I did a lot of just like music and that experience for a long time. And then I transitioned to, I think, a lot of like the secure paths in life. So I went to college and just like I wasn't focused on anything creative.
Me too.
Yeah. So like I was in school, and even after school for a couple of years, like I was just like I had so much like self-doubt, or just even like I didn't even think I had the potential in me to do anything creative. And that's why I like was putting off this magazine for years, like legitimately years. And in my head, I was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm too busy. I don't have the time. And I was just like not doing anything, like nothing. Like I do visual art now. Like I do drawing and I do printmaking. Like I do all of this like random shit too. That's all this like weird creative things like poetry, like just for me. But like, it's so interesting to see, like, there was a point when the pandemic started there was nothing holding me back, right? All this time, there was nothing in the world being like, Chloe, you can't do this, right? And because everybody was doing stuff. And I was like, this is my chance. And so with the magazine, it then spread to interviews, to all this other visual art, all of this stuff for myself, just creating, just constantly creating. And it's like, it just feels so liberating. You know what I mean? It feels like you're like doing what you're supposed to do. And I think it's all connected. It's like, I'm sure when you started doing, you know, your show and your podcast, it's like this something clicked, right? And then you're able to like do so much more. You see all these opportunities and all these like creative ideas start to like spark, and then you're like, oh shit, I'm gonna do that, right? It's like it just takes one thing.
Yo, you know what makes me feel like that every day is Clubhouse.
Yeah,
I'm not joking. Like I'll get out of Clubhouse because we met in that grow your room or whatever, you know, grow your So I was in that room, you know, we met with, I think that's where we met. I was like, yo, my name's Ariel, I'm a podcaster, blah, 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 right? Get that, right? And so, like, when you said, like, things click, yo, things were clicking, but then I got in the Clubhouse, and I'm telling you, things just there's just like dominoes were just falling over. It was just like bang, bang, bang. And it's just like,
right.
I couldn't believe it. And then when I get out of that Clubhouse room, I'm just like so pumped up. I just feel like anything is possible because I talk to people like on the Clubhouse across the world. I'm scheduling stuff on my phone with people across the world, with you across the nation. I mean, like, yo, let's get this down. Let's get this podcast going. And then we're going to collab. It's going to get out to the world. And a year from now, people are going to be looking you up and be watching this podcast. Like, you know, it's just going to blow up. It's going to blow up 6 months from now, 3 months from, it's just crazy.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. It's just like so many people, and actually so many positive people, and so many like,
I know,
wonderful, talented musicians and people like who have been in like the industry for years. Like it's crazy the people that you're meeting on there too. Like you really could meet anybody, and it could be your fucking break. Like, you know,
I'm telling you, I explain people to this. I'm like, yo, I'm meeting people in Hollywood, people that's worked in the business 20 to 15 years in Hollywood. I like people like professional dancers. I got professional photographers, professional writers, like everything, you know, from podcasters to anything. It's just nuts. There's people that are like carpenter. There's car dealers man in there. I saw a car dealers man was in that room the one time. I was like, what? Like, what's going on? We got so many people just like with
There's
so many,
all kinds of
with
people.
purpose and passions in life that want to just come on and just show love. And it's just amazing.
It is, it's loving. It's the most, I think it's one of the most like positive spaces. Like I have not met this many like wonderful giving people in my life. And
I know.
the one thing that I think is great is like everybody is super real on
Yo,
there.
tell me about it. Yo, they said it the other day, the best. Homeboy, I don't know if you do you know Jason and Charles in that room?
I don't know.
The moderator. Anyways, yo, I'm down with some of these moderators. So there's this moderator. He talked the other day and he said it best. He's like, yo, we guys, we're doing this for free, which they whatever, right? We're doing this room for free, which is advertising for you. You can get comments, you can get loved by comments, people sharing your shit, following your shit, blah, 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 all this stuff. For like, if you just jump in this room and you show love back to people, right? And you give love back, blah, 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 and they'll give it back to you, right? Yo, so what was my point of that story? I was getting so pumped up about that. Oh yeah. So the guy was explaining that to the whole room because there was like 140 people and people weren't really like engaging. And they were like, yo guys, think of it this way. I looked at some of your posts from like a month ago, 3 weeks ago, and nobody was showing love. You have 1,000 followers and nobody was commenting on your shit. That means you had friends that you grew up with. You had family members that you are following you. You have all these people are following you from like you were you were a young kid and nobody's commenting. You come into this room and you have people across the world, across the nation that will constantly every day see your post and engage. And I just was like, that's the fucking facts, right? I was just like, I threw my hat off to him, man. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I wanted to just, I jumped in backflips. I was like, that's my fucking point right there, man. People like, I just can't explain it. I just got so much love for that room, so much love for Clubhouse, so much love for everybody supporting each other, uplifting each other. You already know.
I know.
Right.
It's incredible. And then you go to like normal life and then you're like, no, everyone's not this nice at the supermarket. Like no one's gonna be nice like that to you in real life.
Isn't that funny? Yo, that's funny shit because I'll be working all day, I'll be at home. I work at home and then I have the Clubhouse on in the background, trying to engage at the same time. And then I'll get off work and then I go to the store, same shit. I'll be like, it's so funny when you say that.
Yeah.
Yo, so we got great deals out here. We got great deals here at Whole Foods. We got I went to the store yesterday, so I know this for a fact. I went to the organic raspberries, organic blueberries, organic blackberries, 3 for $12. I'm talking about 3 packages for $12. And I loaded myself up because I'm all about smoothies. And man, I'm so pumped up. Are you a fan? Do you guys get that out there in Philly?
Whole Foods?
Yeah, or fruit. You like fruit out there?
We do get fruit here. We do. Yeah. We have a lot of cool, like little like produce markets too. But yeah, Whole Foods is dope. And I'm all about like, local like produce and stuff. So yeah.
Yo, straight up shout out. Yo, you're so cool to talk to. Yo, okay, so we're probably gonna get into some questions. So what do you like about your podcast so much?
Everything. It's amazing. You guys should all go listen right now. No, it's great. The thing about that I love the most about it is it's very authentic and real. And that is who I am and what I do is all about the authenticity behind it. So if you like music and you're a music lover and you are open to you want to learn about the process and you want to get to know different people that are doing interesting things, that's what it's about. I interview lots of people that are genre bending. So they are flowing through different genres of music. They are creating their own sound. They are breaking, social barriers, and they are doing really, really dope things. That's the kind of people I want to interview that are, just going under the scenes and making really, really wonderful things. So you'll get a lot of that on the podcast, and it's all real and authentic. I don't cut shit out of it. I like to have the actual conversation in there.
Yeah.
And they're pretty, they can get pretty deep. So it's like, if you like that kind of shit, you will really, really enjoy listening. And you'll get to meet some really cool people and find some really dope music. So like, that's what I would say is very unique about it.
Straight up. Yo, I like it what you said, real and authentic, because I'm the same way. I don't cut shit out. Like, so it's like somebody walked in and started talking to me, I wouldn't edit that out. I'd leave it in. That's how I do. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
People like that.
Yeah. All the mistakes, certainties, like that's the kind of stuff I post about too on like social media, is like, we're not perfect, and we're all like learning, and we're all like, all of, the example, all of these artists that I'm interviewing, if they didn't try, they didn't make mistakes, they wouldn't even be where they are today. And they're still learning and growing. And so you get to kind of
still at this moment. You and I are still learning at this very moment doing this podcast, just to let you know.
Yeah. And you get to see like the unfolding process of you and me and all your mistakes that we're making and all of the wonderful things that happen and the uncomfortable things. Like, that's all normal, and that's all a part of life. And so trying to get that lens of like, this is what's really going on. And I think it's encouraging to people.
It sure is. I agree. It's encouraging. It's like, it's kind of like cool. I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. So I already know what our part 2 podcast is going to be. It's going to be about you and music and your guitar, because you said you just picked up your guitar, and when we catch back up here in a few months, I want to hear about your music and your guitar playing again.
Because I was thinking about it, like I'm like, I could really get back into it.
I know you can.
You never know.
Oh, I know you can, because I have a same situation of a story like what you're saying, but we can't get into that because we're talking here about your podcast and magazine, and this podcast only goes for about 25-30 minutes long, and we do it big time over here. Tell us about what have you learned so far from your podcast magazine journey?
Ooh, I mean, the biggest thing I've learned has just been to follow your dream, to do the thing that you want to do, to kind of tune out all the negativity, anything that is like pushing against your creativity. Choose that over what you should do, or over what everyone is telling you to do, because it's worth it in the end. So learning to be, resilient, and learning to make mistakes and be okay with it. And that, if you put yourself out there and you put out positive energy, and you want to, support musicians, or, anything you're doing in your business, anyone who is looking to support and uplift other people, like, positive things are gonna come back to you. So like, keep going, keep putting your stuff out there, keep showing up, because things will start to happen. Like Ariel, you're saying with, for you're super fucking busy, right? That's the kind of thing I'm talking about. Is showing up, continue to show up, and it happens.
Straight up. Yo, do you have a calendar? Do you schedule calendar and stuff?
Yeah, I have a Google Calendar.
That's what I'm talking about. Yo, I'll talk to people and I'll be like, yo, let's schedule something 6 months out, a year. I'm even a year out right now. I'm a year out right now on my schedule. And I'm like, yo, let's schedule something. They'll be like, I'll talk to people and they'll be like, they'll tell me, oh, I don't know what I'll be doing that far out. I'll be like, what? Come on.
Oh my God.
How do you not have a schedule yet? Come through. Yo, so tell me, here we go. Who are your I like to hear this. Who's your podcast? Who influenced you as a podcasters? Or who influenced you as a like any other shows? Like for me, it would be like the Tinfoil Hat. For me, it'd be Edge of Wonder, the Jason Burmis, Joe Rogan, of course, is dope. Yeah. So like those who influenced me a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know if I have like a bunch of podcast influencer, like people I look up to. I do really enjoy Crime Junkies, and it's
Oh
the
my
two.
gosh, no.
What?
I'm
You
just
don't like them?
no, my girlfriend's all about Crime Junkie.
Well, I just think it's like it's fun too because they like joke about it, and I just love like the banter and
Yeah,
how
it's
it's
cool.
like fun, but they're talking about a really like serious and morbid topic. So for those ones always like are fun to me.
That's
But
awesome.
it's really like anyone. I've met so many people that are like interviewers and do like live streams like yourself, and it's like it's really awesome to see people like that who are just sharing other people's stories. Like that's super, inspiring. And like it's fun to like look in your circle and look at people and I try not to look like all of these really mega famous people as my inspiration, because I don't know, I just feel like I have so many talented people like right around me who are
Yep.
doing really cool things.
That's beautiful.
I have the podcasting community, especially on Clubhouse too, is pretty it's in there, it's pretty small, and so like you should listen to people's stuff. It's like really, really good. And so like people I meet on there, yeah, it's just a constant motivation to keep going.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
Tell me, what are some cool what's some cool hobbies you like to do besides your magazine, your podcast, your art, and your music coming up here soon in the future? You're gonna be dropping some albums, so tell me, what do you like to do besides all that in Philly? I've never been to Philly. I'm here in Denver.
Well, Philly is incredible. There is just it's like a smaller version of New York, and it's just so much more easier to get around. Like everywhere is like 15 minutes from one part of the city to the other.
Okay.
And without the crowd. So you're not getting like the Times Square or like the Union Square crowds in New York. So I grew up like 20 minutes from New York City, so I'm very familiar with New York. And then I've now lived in Philly for like 7 years now. And I just like, it's more affordable to live, like it's smaller, just like it's more residential, and you can get like whatever you want. If you want to go to like Old City, that's kind of like the older neighborhood with all of like the like cobblestone streets, and then you can go to like West Philly, it's more residential with like gardens and it's cute, and then you go to Center City and it's a fucking city, like you're in the city. Wow. So you get all of that in like 20-minute radius of Philadelphia. So I love it, and the food is amazing. That's one thing about me, is I love food and I love trying new foods. So I am a big foodie, and I would say too, if I wasn't doing like music interviews and focusing on music and art, I would definitely have to be like a food blogger or something and be like eating food and like writing about it and like reviewing it, because that would be incredible. But no, I guess because you mentioned a lot of things, like listening to music is a big hobby. The art I mentioned, I do a lot of different kinds of art. I've been working on like collaging and mixed media, so just like putting kind of random things together and making collages. Printmaking, so that's a whole process.
Wow. Sounds like it.
And then I do like, I like using ink to draw, and I haven't done anything besides like black ink. And I like, it's like, it reminds me of like tattooing a little bit, and I have tattoos, I like tattoos, and so it's like that ink wash and like drawing and that kind of like black and white kind of thing. So I do a lot of stuff like that. But I've been watching, I'll say, other than that, food, a lot of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
What? I was gonna say Dawson's
Yeah, I'm like
very
very old school. Yeah, I like old school stuff. And yeah, like going to shows, going to concerts, and I learning, honestly, like learning new things, doing new things, talking to new people, like that's the most fascinating thing to me.
Awesome. That's cool. Yeah. How's so Philly goes hard, huh?
There's so much cool shit here, like so much music, so much like just the vibe. Everybody is very like, they'll tell you how it is. Like they'll tell you how they feel and they're not afraid or ashamed to do so. And that's very much my attitude too. It's like, say how it is, say how you feel. But we're kind of nice about it, I think. So it's fun.
Snap. Oh snap. Yo, have you been to Denver?
I've never been to Denver, but I've been to like Breckenridge before.
Yep.
And I think, or you got a little bit of like a slower pace, a little bit of, I think you're nicer than a lot, like West Coast people are usually nicer than East Coast people, but I've done a lot of actually, I snowboard. So I've gone to Breckenridge and gone like snowboarding, but I haven't been to Denver.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Snowboarding's legit, huh? I love it.
Me too.
Right on. Okay. What is the coolest accomplishment you're proud of out of your magazine, your podcast, your music, your art? What is the most coolest accomplishment?
I don't know, all of it. You know, getting this far and even doing the thing. The magazine is definitely like the biggest part of it. That is like the
magazine,
the essence of the brand, for sure. And the podcast has been also wonderful, but I think it's just looking back, you know, a year ago and looking at all of the reception I have got from putting my artwork out there and putting my creations out there and finding like-minded people. And I wouldn't have gotten that if I didn't do it, if I didn't start, if I didn't put it out into the world. Even if I originally started this as a passion project and it was like not gonna be released. Like I wasn't gonna show it to many people. And, you know, I went full force and I did the opposite. I sent it to people, I promoted it, and it turned into then a podcast. And like, it's just pretty incredible to look back and where you were, you know, 6 months ago or a year when this stuff didn't exist. So yeah, I think I'm just not only proud in like the material things of like the actual things I'm producing, but proud that I have gotten this far. Right? So I think that's a good thing to take away from it. You know, even if you're not producing something and you're not like, oh yeah, I have 1,000 episodes of my show. Even if you have like a few episodes, like you're a few episodes farther than you were a year ago or 6 months ago. So like, I think it's quality over quantity, doing it right, doing it how you want it to be done, and being, you know, having it be true to yourself. So that's what I would say.
I like that. I got one more question here because I know you want to go get some art done tonight. So here we go. What advice do you have for anybody going through a tough time right now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, my advice,
because you're you're very uplifting, you're very cool, you're very you understand, you listen. Like, how can we get to your level? How can like, because you're very cool, you're very like, you know what I mean?
Thank you.
You're smiling, you're laughing.
Like what was that? What did you say?
You're laughing, you're smiling, you're like, we want that energy. How can we get to that level?
Yeah. You know, it's a little bit of just like the growth and resilient mentality. It's taking like every opportunity is every day in every situation is a new opportunity to start again. And I am very chill and cool in, you know, the day to day, but like shit happens to me. I get frustrated, I get mad, I get upset, and these things are all normal. So I would say like give yourself grace and give yourself compassion, because like that's what's going to take you to keep going forward. And if you like come from a mentality of like, you know, being really hard on yourself and putting yourself down, like you're not going to get to where you want to be. And so like, sounds cheesy, but it is very much like being compassionate, loving yourself, and knowing that you can do the thing. So like you have to be your own cheerleader, and you have to like in that situation, you have to show up again and again and keep going, even on the days when you're like, fuck, I'm sorry, I don't know if we can.
Oh, you're good. Go for it.
But So like, you're just like, fuck, I can't do another day of this. I am burnt out. It's not going as fast as I want it to go. It's not turning out the way I want it to turn out. Like literally like keep going, because it's going to be worse to not go for it than to, and wish that you have, than to, you know, be doing it and learning and growing in the process. Like I've just had to, you know, that mentality, that mindset of like showing up again, you know, being open to things and trying again. You have to be, you know, you have to be able to fail. And so
yeah, learning to fail and just learning it rather than
Yep.
taking it like a loss, take it as a lesson.
I don't even like the word fail, but it comes up a lot, is like people see their scenarios as failures, and like if we can call it a failure, but it's you fully learn from it, and then it disappears, you know, it's gone in a few days or a week, or and then you're doing it again. And
Right.
so you can't get discouraged by what's going on now, like the little things getting in the weeds. So
For real, I believe that failure is more of like a low frequency word.
yeah.
Where lesson is more of a high frequency word. Where
Yeah.
high frequency, we're talking about excitement, joyful, happy. Where
Yeah.
dude, think about it. Failure, like of course, when you say that shit's like low frequency as fuck. So don't.
I know the word, and you're totally right. Like the high frequency, like I was not always this like supportive in myself. Like I had to like learn to get here. I had to like work through some shit and like change my mindset, because a lot of people are probably watching this and they're like, I don't feel like I'm where I want to be right now, and these people are pissing me off because they're talking about all the cool things they're doing. And it just comes from like believing in yourself and switching your mentality of like, I can do this too. And there's enough space for all of us to do everything we want to do.
Absolutely.
And it's like goes back to like the collaboration and supporting each other, supporting the local artists, supporting the musicians, that the community of artists to keep going. And it's going to be done through us, right? It's helping each other out. So yeah, I really like that you mentioned that, like just that frequency. And it's hard. It's definitely hard to stay in it, but we gotta try. So
we gotta try, and we can do it. We can do it. All right. Yo, Chloe, thank you so much. What I learned from that is just have grace, compassion, love yourself, believe in yourself. No one's not going to come save you. We're our own cheerleaders, okay? We're our own superheroes. We don't got the Hulk coming to save us. We don't have the Rock coming to save us, okay, guys? Be your own cheerleader. Come through. Got Ariel's Entertainment Podcast, arielent.com. Available on all podcast platforms. Shout out to Chloe. Chloe, tell us where we can follow you and support you one more time.
Yes, you can follow me at Songbirds Mag on Instagram. You can go to my link tree, and there's all fun stuff in there. My magazine, my podcast, Facebook, Pinterest, Clubhouse, all that good stuff. You know, if any of what I've said has resonated with anybody watching, like definitely connect with me, like message me, connect with me, because I want to get to know people that care about the same thing that I care about. So I want to get to know you. I want to get to know the creative things you guys are doing, the cool music things you guys are doing, and looking to support you back. So yeah, thank you so much, Ariel. I appreciate the shout out.
Yo, shout out to Chloe. She really does appreciate you guys messaging her and engaging with her. She does show love. She does. So hit her up, guys. Hit her on the Instagram, Songbirds MAG. That's SONGBIRDS MAG on the Instagram. Hit the link tree, run it up. We got the magazine, we got the podcast, Facebook, Pinterest, Clubhouse. Run it up. We got, there we go. Available on Spotify, available on podcast platforms, right?
Yeah, all podcast streaming platforms. Yeah.
Straight up. That's what I'm talking about. Guys, go check out the magazine. Check out the magazine. Okay. She did it all herself. Like, that's so amazing and creative. That's so awesome. Good for you. I can't wait. I can't wait. Yo, I'm going to catch up with the magazine, and then I can't wait till October for the next magazine. That sounds
bad. We'll have to do another show, come back, talk to you in a few months about what's going on, you know?
Yo, I can't wait. And I can't wait till I hear about your new guitar playing.
I know. I mean, honestly, I was so surprised I could play those few like chords and I remembered it that like I'm like I might as well start. Like it's like honestly when it comes to a creative process, like and you want to do something, I have the guitar sitting literally right next to me. It's open. It's so like there's nothing stopping me. I'm like staring at it. I have to pick it up.
It's staring at you.
So,
it's staring at you. It's like to pick me up, pick me up.
Yeah. So whatever you want to do, if you want to play music, like get the instrument, put it somewhere. You want to sing, put song lyrics up, get art supplies, put it in front of you, like, and then it'll come. You know, it's the creativity will come, and
for real.
learn.
For real. Like something in your spirit, something will just move you and pick that thing up. Watch. It just happens. So Chloe, thank you so much for coming on the show. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast, arielent.com. Ariel ENTPOD is the Instagram, guys. I'm out. I'm going to eat some dinner out there in Philly. I think it's like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, it's pretty late.
It's party time. Party time to going up on a Tuesday. Here we go, guys. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. Love yourself the most, okay? Self-believe. Here we go. arielent.com. Much love. I'm going to tell my DJ, drop the track. Here we go. God bless, guys. Have a wonderful week. Here we go.
Thank you.
No, thank you, Chloe. Take care. God bless. We'll stay in touch.
Yes, we'll talk soon.
Yes, we will.
You.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. DJ, drop the track.
Yo, shit goes hard in the paint, bro. Liked it. Loved it. Gotta hit the follow back, baby. You already know.
You already know. Shout out to Philly.
Catchy as fuck, bro. Smoke out.
Shout out to Philly, baby. Let's go. Woo! Shout out to my boy QT Dub doing this track. Homeboy was like, yo, love your vibe. Love your show. I'm going to throw this song at you. You can have it, leave it, whatever you want. So I put it as my intro song. Shout out to my boy QT Dub. Guys, I was at 13,000 elevation feet this last weekend. Check it out. So when I was up there, I bought these chains right here. Check it out. I was at 13 elevation feet in Estes Park, Rocky Mountain National Park. Okay. It was the best time of my life. I drove all the way up there. Okay. Anyways, let's get back to the story. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast, arielent.com. Shout out to Chloe. Let's go. Shout out to Philly. Okay. Let's go to Songs Birds Magazine. Okay. Hit the link tree. Okay. arielent.com. Self-love is the best love. Make sure you guys love the animals. Okay. Available on all podcast platforms. I'm talking about Apple, Spotify, iTunes, all the above. Okay. iHeart, arielent.com. God bless. I'm out. Woo!